Hello, everybody. This is Jyotsna, and my students like to call me Coach Joe. And guess what my purpose is? To help high school students reach their maximum potential, reach their college of their dreams. But guess what? In order to do that, academics is the number one factor that students need to have, like exceptional grades, exceptional course selection, in order to get into those highly selective colleges. And that means having a very, very heavy course load of APs and honors, right? And one of the hardest AP that is there is AP biology. That's where students struggle the most because it's a lab science. And I'm so happy to introduce Dr. Shri. She is an AP biology tutor. And guess what? My son, who's a junior, always does things in the last minute, was in a pickle. He had a huge AP biology test that was coming out. And yes, he was struggling. He was struggling with the concepts. He felt like he could handle it, but then he really needed help. And that's when I called Dr. Shri and I said, hey, can you please help my son? And she immediately accommodated us. She sat with him. She taught him the concepts that he was struggling with, and she's created a plan. So now my son needs to meet with Dr. Shri on a regular basis, and I see him smiling even more. And his grades have certainly done very well in AP biology. So I want to thank Dr. Shri, and I'm so glad that she's here. Welcome, Shri, Dr. Shri.
Hey, hi, Joe. Thank you. Thanks. That was a wonderful introduction. Yeah, and it's always an opportunity, and it's nice to catch up with your son. And it's nice to hear your kind words. And yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, Dr. Shri. Now, why is AP biology so hard?
Oh, let me take that. I try to debate you on this, Joe. It's not hard. Let me tell you, see, this is life. Bio means life. You're living your life. So when you try to relate everything to what we're doing in life, there is a key. You are done. Like talk about DNA. How are we inheriting something from our parents? Or talk about cells. How are we going from a baby to an adulthood? Or how are we becoming old? Or like maybe how the microorganisms, how are we getting diseases? Right? This is all what we are trying to learn. That is all is biology. Right? So when you try to start relating it with your real life and understand like the food we're eating everywhere, like how people say there is math everywhere, I strongly believe there is bio everywhere. So it's not really hard, but what I hear is mostly it's about the way we understand and the teachers delivering them and the kids able to get more deeper into the subject. And once they understand, like I feel so happy when I see my kids, my students, once they smile, they have the smile, as you said in the beginning, like once they get the concept, yes, they know they got it now. It's not just their reading, but when they understand and read it, that makes more sense. So yeah, it's not hard. It might be easy, but you need someone who can really help you in that journey.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that's what I want to tell parents, that there is no shame in engaging tutors and instructors when your child is struggling, right? We almost feel like we have to punish our kids by not providing that opportunity. Not at all. Seeking help and engaging an expert is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It doesn't mean that your child is stupid or not intelligent. It's just that the teaching that was shared in the high school is not sufficient. And we know how many students are there in the class, nearly 30 students, and there's one teacher, and there's so much to cover, and it's overwhelming. And AP biology is a college level course. It's not like a regular school course or honors. You are expecting a child, still they are children, to engage in a college level course without providing the appropriate support, which is quite unfair. And I'm so relieved and fortunate that I have Dr. Shri for my son. right? So, and I want you to avail the same. She's an exceptional teacher. My son had very good words to talk about. She really figured out where his issues were. She added a lot of confidence to him and told him that, hey, you need to practice further. So she's a very empathetic and kind teacher. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh,
You
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah. And also, could you please tell us which area of AP Bio do students struggle the most?
So it's different. It's a tricky question. Let me try to give you some things about it. So some people may like, okay, let me talk more about microorganisms, like how am I getting the disease, or how is that really, how am I able to combat that, right? But some kids are more interested into learning about the hereditary. Why am I like my dad, or why am I not like my mom? Okay, So that's a question like where we think like there are so many factors about it, but the key is once they know what they're learning, what's the importance of that, right? It's forget about the grades. It's not just for the grades. For me, myself, I feel learning is not just for grades. Learning is life, right? You have to learn throughout your life. It's not just we're stopping, okay, my 10th grade is done, my 12th grade is done. No, it's not that. So as you keep learning, there is where you gain knowledge. And that will definitely help you in any path, whether you go to medical science or even engineering or wherever it is. That's the reason I feel like they have added that bio as one of the major thing. They have to have it to go into any kind of different diverse areas.
Yeah, that's so true, right? Yeah. Yeah, it also makes it a lot more difficult because it's a lab science, right? They need like practical experience.
Yeah, that's there. And also, let me tell you, like once when we spoke about like it's hard or it's unfair for the teacher, but think about the teacher side, like she has a lot of commitments, and it's not always one on one or the teacher on the student, like right, And some students are really interested, so they can just catch it, or they try to learn more about it, or getting some extra support. And yes, the one you said, it's no shame at all. It's not. I don't even think it's a shame, it's a support level. It's like we're trying to give them the way how we need to think, and what makes them to think, like how, like mostly I try to get the students think about it than me giving them the answer or a solution. So you are stuck somewhere, which is your gate or which is your path to go? So just show me what is that, so I'll guide you there. It's like that. Like, so I feel like it's not at all anything to feel down. The kid is absolutely fine, and it's good. It's not that we are trying to demean them or something. It's more about boosting their confidence. Like when you said the smile makes that itself shows us. That's where yes, they got it now, so they're happy. So are we as a parents and as a teacher. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent, right? Excellent. Okay. Okay. So, can we dig deeper into your approach, your methodology, your philosophy? What makes you unique? And also talk to us about the transformation that you bring into students who come to AP Biology coaching.
Yeah, just to give a bit quick about my background, I did my PhD. I'm a doctorate in biology. My specialization, my research went mostly on the transgenic plant production, where we try to keep a gene of interest and express in the plant so that the plant is getting more advantage or we are taking more advantage from the same plant. So it's mostly about the like how we are saying Gen AI, like in the com science world, it's more like that. We are doing a transgene, we are putting a gene inside and getting. So let's then coming back about the way I approach, yes, as I said you, it's not about just getting the grade. They need to know the deep, they need to know what exactly we're talking, how does it really process in a body. Like what I say out is not what it is inside a body, right? If I say like a blood cell is this shape, oval shape or something, you cannot even really think about, oh, my blood is liquid, how is that you're saying there is a cell in the blood? So it's hard. Like so the more you feel about it, it looks very fascinating. And like when I talk about the genes and hereditary, all that, I just always try to talk to my students most about this. See, the one which you're getting from your parent, a trait, something which is getting inherited, you right? All that, where, how much is that size of the nucleus, where it is located? You can't even see a cell with your naked eye. In that cell is a nucleus, which is the mystery molecule. So we are trying to learn about that. That's the see that's fascinating. That's where like I feel like yes, people or the kids should know what they're really reading or what they're trying to study. No, that's where that will break their ice. And then usually I go with the lecture, like let them understand, and then we do some session like where we talk about it, any questions or any concerns, any loose knots, something not connected with the student, any mistakes, and then I also do some questions. Like I just want to understand, did he really get me? Or does she know what I'm trying to, if I go a bit beyond, or I'm trying to put a question in a tricky way, giving like two, three things are not on the question, but I'm asking them an answer. So it's always like that. Like that's how I enjoy teaching. Sorry.
It's wonderful. And thank you so much for sharing all the insights. And you're pretty brilliant. You did your PhD, and your passion for teaching and mentoring students show, right? That's amazing. Can you please provide some insights into the AP Bio exam structure, and how students can like really do well?
Yeah, mostly like what I feel is AP is all about like now there are mostly their MCQs, right? Like multiple choice questions. So that's a bit easy on the kids. It's not like they need to remember all the concept. At least I feel like they need to go with elimination. Like when you read a question, okay, we may not be able to relate the answer directly into our mind, but see the options, okay? In that options, at least I feel one or two will definitely be a no. So you're done with 50%, we are done. The other 50%, just think about the logic. There may be something which is not at all making any sense. Or something you remember, okay, I studied in the class and I was trying to understand with a real life example. So, for example, if I say, if you talk about, you need to identify what is a polyunsaturated fatty acid, for example, it's a basic one. How do they know? How do they decide what it is? So something is, what is that we have? Either we have butter or ghee, whatever. If any Indians more use, we use ghee, but whatever it is, like when you know that, then you try to understand. Okay, unsaturated is something like a liquid form. It's not the butter, or it's not the other oil which is solidifying at room temperature. So then comes your answer. That is either olive oil, which is not in the form of a solid, right? So there you try to relate it with, when I try to relate it with the real life, then you know that okay, you think beyond it. You hear something, some olive oil, stearic oil, whatever, you never heard about it. So then you start to think about it, okay, if it is in the liquid form, liquid stearic acid, then you know, okay, when it is liquid, that means it is unsaturated you know so these are the catches and hacks what I want the students to be thinking even beyond the subject. Sometimes it's not like everything in the whole world, right? There are some things which we don't know. Even I don't know something, like maybe at least try to go with the trial and error method. So yeah, you do better in your grades, with respect to AP, what we thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good, Dr. Shri. Thank you so much for sharing. And we will have all the information to get in touch with Dr. Shri along with the video. And also, Dr. Shri, in order to help students, she is planning to have a review session, right? Which would be like a group lesson where you'll be reviewing the units, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to put along for the AP biology students, like mostly. And also it may help really even all other, even honor students. It's morely about like how the test is or what are the topics. I'm trying to list them down, and I'll soon publish that so we can group up for sessions or we can plan for sessions for the students.
Excellent.
It
Excellent.
would really help
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. And also, parents, if you feel like the group lesson is not enough, right? A lot of students need more one-on-one, then
Yeah.
Dr. Shri is your choice, right? So so the first person to enroll in your review session will be my son to review that along with the group lessons that he's already enrolled in, right? So that is what I want parents to do is stop researching and going around looking for the best deal for an AP bio tutor because you have one here. I mean, Coach Jo has entrusted her son with Dr. Shri, and I really love Dr. Shri. Thank you so much because my son was so depressed with his AP bio scores. And yeah, for him, he has to be doing well in all his classes. And he came in the last minute and you accommodated him, which was really amazing. So thank you so much, Dr. Shri. And please create the program quickly, and so that we can share it to all the parents. A review session is pretty amazing, even if your child knows the topic, but it's always good to get it verified by an expert before going into the exam. And it's definitely going to help them enhance their score in the AP exam.
Yeah, definitely. And last but not the least, I go by the motto like teaching is my passion, but coaching is my profession, So that's where I end the meet for today. And thank you so much, Yo. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And it's nice to have your son, like the way like we talked. It's more about discussing and knowing what it is and all. So nice to have him.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Shri, for being so approachable and yet making that transformation and putting in that confidence and the results that they need. So thank you so much.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.